Hello, I am going to go over Module 11 with you. I'm very excited about this particular module because now we are moving into preparing our feasibility report, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead, share my screen with you here. And okay, so here we are. We can see that our work dates here for this module are suggested to be March 23rd through April 8th. Now, we have a great deal of time to get through this module. I mean, you're looking at from March 23rd to April 8th, which is about a week and a half. So I think that is manageable for you. And it's approximately 12 hours of work, depending on how versed you are with the assignments so far. So hopefully you are caught up on all your assignments and it will make your life very easy and manageable to complete this assignment. So let's start with the draft feasibility report. So here we are. We have some brief instructions here about the assignment overview, and I have several different resources available for you. So here, there is a slide deck that kind of walks you through the feasibility report. It's something you can walk through on your own. And then here we have a feasibility report template. I'd like you to download that, take a close look at it. It is lined up with all your prior assignment resources. I'll go over that with you in a minute. But it's all laid out that way, and it explains each component and what you need to include for each component within that template. Of course, you want to delete the instructions and then move forward that way. Now, there is also an example feasibility report here that I think you will find helpful. It is already completed in APA format, as is the feasibility report template. So keep to APA format and guidelines. But it is set up that way for you already, so it makes life a lot easier. So you don't have to focus on the formatting, you can just focus on the content. All right. So, and I think you will find the example very helpful because you can see and model after that example for your own report. I know your company will be different than the feasibility example, but it's something to work on and look at to help you along the way. So here, each section within the feasibility template is outlined here. So all these items and where you can find your references that you have already completed. You may need to tweak a few things here and there to make it fit in the language of the report, but most of the work you've already done. So here we can look at the executive summary while you will go into the elevator pitch and looking at your problem to solution work, and then glean that information, place it in that you'll tweak it a little bit, but the gist of it will come from that assignment. And the same with each one. The value proposition statement comes from the business model canvas and key assumptions assignment, and so forth and so on. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you because you can do that on your own. But you can see how this all plays out. It's all the assignments that you've already completed, and then you will add that content to the feasibility report. And then, so what you do here, I have another template here that you can download. It's the same one that's included up here, but I just thought I would include it again so that you have it ready to go. And then here, what you will do, work through each section of the template. You want to keep the formality and third person tone in because that is an APA guideline requirement. And then you want to include any figures and tables. Now you will see from the example report how tables and figures, images, and so forth were used. So just follow that as a model. And then you want to be sure that you cite all sources using APA format, seventh edition, that is. And so what you want to be sure is when you're looking at a reference, you want to use hanging indent. Hanging indent means that the first line of the reference is hanging and the second line, and if there's a third line, will be indented, hence the term hanging indent. So that is what you'll want to do. And then here's just a nice deliverable checklist. You want to just check it over, make sure you've addressed all these items as you move along, and some tips for success. So, if you'd like, I'm going to go ahead and download the template for you, just so you could take a look at it while I'm on video, in case you happen to have any questions about it. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up for you now. And so here we are. So we can see that we start with I'm going to just make this a little bit smaller here, or work it out like this. Okay, so here you will just add an image to your uh, report on the cover page, your product or service company name, whatever fits best for you, any kind of tagline, slogan, and then, so anything in brackets, you would need to put the information in the between the brackets and then delete the brackets. And then you will keep the formatting proper. And then so your first name, last name, and then the date that you submitted the assignment. And then here are just some instructions. You want to read the instructions, understand them, and then you can delete that section. And then there is a table of contents that will update automatically. All you have to do is select the table of contents, update the table, and then all the table numbers will update for you. The page numbers, excuse me, the page numbers will update for you. Sometimes you will see it will ask you, do you want to update the entire table? That means if you've added another heading, then you would want to select update the entire table. If you've just kept all the headings as they are in the template, just update the page numbers only will be sufficient. Okay, so then you'll just wait to do that until the end, right? Then here's just some brief instructions on how to do that. Sometimes it's nice to see it visually. And then here's the executive summary to start with. Gives you precise information of what to include. And then again, put your information within the brackets and then delete the brackets. And then you have other additional information in here as well. And then the entire feasibility study moves forward. Here again, from your business model canvas, your value proposition statement, put in the product name, leave is, or if it's another word that's more appropriate, change it, and then describe the value or benefit to your customer. And then for who is the customer, describe the customer, and what is the pain reliever or the gain creator that you are offering your client. So you want to include that. And then at the very end of the report is a business model canvas table that you will want to populate. So we have the terms here, which is outside the bracket. So you would keep that information in the report, is see Appendix A for business model canvas, and so forth. Now, I just want to show you one other thing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move this into half the page. And then I'm going to also download the example feasibility report. So because what I like to do is when I have an example that I want to model and I have my own report that I'm working on, well, I like to see them side by side. So if you can just make them side by side on your computer, then it makes it a lot easier to do the work and that you can see, if I can get this to work on here now, let's see if I can't, seem like it doesn't want to, let's see, no, oh my goodness, let's try this one. Here we go. We have this one, and then now we'll try this one again, and it doesn't seem to want to move on me for me. All right, so let's just leave it like it is. So we have the cover page. You can see the cover page on the template is add a large image here. So you would want to, and here our example has in fact done that. This is a stock image. Please don't just grab something from the internet. If you already have something, that's wonderful. Otherwise, use a stock image that you don't have to pay for, of course. So then again, you can see the example, putting in the information. There's a tagline here. Here's the name of the product. And then the student is an A student here, so it's good work and a good model to go by. And then here is the date. So you want the date in APA format, which is, you don't want to put just numbers for the date. You want to have the month written out completely, not abbreviated, and then the date, comma, and then the year, of course. All right, so then you can see as you go through this example, you will see how you might be able to populate your own custom information. But it gives you a good source that you can go by. You can see images here, and then you can see other images. Here's the customer. It could be this young customer, or it could be the parent of the customer. And then we have some graphs, charts, tables, and so forth and so on. Now, if you have any questions about anything as it relates to this assignment, please reach out to me. I'm very excited to see what you have come up with, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you.